So these are actually opportunities that many sellers don't take advantage of.
No, those are bad opportunities. Definitely do not sell people branded items and then let them receive something that's non-branded. Hey, what's going on, loungers? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mason T, and I am a 20+ year business professional. I specialize in importing as well as product development. So mainly a lot of private label, a little bit of white label. So today I've been asked many times of what I think about eBay dropshipping, and we're going to cover a whole bunch of things at the same time, where I'm going to give you my full opinion on it, as well as exposing the grifters and learning how to do business properly all at the same time. So let's just jump into today's video. Okay, so this guy, you probably know him. His name is Rogero, and he is of Zeek Analytics here, right? And he dropped a video about the top selling items to sell on eBay in 2025. Also, they heavily promote eBay dropshipping. So let's talk about eBay dropshipping first, okay? What is the official ruling on eBay dropshipping? Well, I have it right here. If you pull it up, it specifically says on eBay, dropshipping is allowed, but you must source products from wholesale or trade suppliers, not other retailers. And you remain responsible for the safe delivery and buyer satisfaction. It also explains that you specifically cannot source from other marketplaces. So basically, you can't do Best Buy onto eBay, and you're not supposed to do Amazon and Walmart onto eBay. Now, are there people who do this, and are they successful getting away with it? Absolutely. There is a third-party program out there called AutoDS. Long story short, I don't recommend this whatsoever, because ultimately the devil is in the details, and you have to understand really what's going on, okay? Look at this article over here. It specifically says how to drop ship on eBay without getting banned. What does that mean? What does that actually mean? It means that they're not trying to help you with compliance. They're trying to help you avoid detection. So that means what you're doing is wrong. It violates the policy from the beginning. So by the time you do get caught and then you say, well, other people are doing it, how come? Right, but that doesn't absolve you from guilt, does it, right? Those people are wrong, you're all going to be banned. So it depends, you know, if you're going to get caught or not. But ultimately, the thing is, does eBay know that this is going on? Yeah, of course, eBay's not stupid. So if they allow this thing, right, maybe there's no way of catching it. We don't know exactly what's happening, or if there's a, you know, under the table handshake going on. But either way, this is not what is normally policy compliant. So what happens here? When you think about Amazon and how it works, Amazon essentially has its own shipping ability, right? It has its own trucks, it has its own delivery method. So the tracking number that's put out when you purchase something from Amazon is unique. So if you go ahead and put that tracking number into one of your eBay orders, that's how they bust you. So what does AutoDS do? It helps you automate a whole system of, you know, doing the drop shipping from Amazon onto your eBay account. So it's basically a type of internet arbitrage. But they would go ahead and mask that tracking number with a different tracking number that would still provide the same exact tracking information to your customer, but it wouldn't show up on eBay's system as an Amazon shipping tracking number, right? So again, it helps you go under the radar. It helps you avoid detection. It doesn't help you with compliance. So if you ever get busted, you are on your own. And that's why I don't recommend eBay drop shipping at all. So this is basically a not quite a drop shipping tutorial, but a whole like, let's recommend what's hot kind of thing. So what I do is product development. I research people all the time. I deep dive into products all the time. And that's why when I started this channel, I might as well have deep dived into a lot of other gurus as well, and then just tell you the real skinny of what's actually happening. So today we're going to watch this video together. And what I'm going to do is intentionally blow up my split screen so that I'm all the way down here and taking up, you know, less real estate. And we're going to cover all of the items that he's recommending today. So we're pretty much, you guys can play along at home. So he's going to recommend the item, and then I'm going to break it down as a product developer of 20 years and show you whether or not you should do this item, okay? And once you see the homework that I'm doing on this guy, you be the judge and say yay or nay for every single item that we covered. You guys ready? Let's do this.
In today's video, I'm going to share the top 8 products that you should add right now to your eBay dropshipping store. And these are the best selling products for April. And the best part is that every item in this list is backed by solid data straight from Zeek Analytics. Oh, and make sure you watch to the end. Why? Because the last product in this list has made over $5,000 in pure profit for the eBay dropshipper that
is like old Harry Potter.
Yes, $5,000 in profit. Not in sales revenue, but in actual profit. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Let's not waste time, okay? Okay, so first one, you got the men's Barrett hat, okay? It's a perfect pick for spring. It's stylish yet practical, making it a great product for those cooler spring days when people still want to look fancy and sharp. All right. Plus, Barretts are trendy right now. Definitely, it's a good addition to your store. So I found this one selling on eBay for $15.28. And then with help of Zeek Analytics, of course, I was able to find the same exact item on AliExpress, the same product, for only $6.51.
Okay, I like how he said that this is $6.51. For some of you out there who might not be too familiar with AliExpress, why does this thing say 99 cents? If you are not signed in or this is a brand new account, then there is a welcome deal as your first item that you purchase from AliExpress, and AliExpress will give you a huge discount on it, but no lower than 99 cents. So generally, if it is a $25 item, it might bring it down to like $14. If it is a $5 or $6 item, $8 item, it might bring it down to 99 cents. That's basically how it works. So for your first welcome deal item, you probably want to buy something a little bit more expensive so that it's more worth it. But essentially what he said, $6.51, is absolutely true. That is the normal price when you don't have that welcome deal coupon anymore. But let's see what he has to say about this particular item.
Cents with $1.99 for shipping because it's an AliExpress choice product below $10, all right? So this seller has sold this item 118 times, all right?
Okay, lovely. So he sold it 118 times, and I personally found this item right here. Okay, so I'm going to click on this, and then we're going to look at this item together. This is what he said, $15.28, right? By the way, guys, not to sidetrack, but is this Matthew Fox? It looks like Matthew Fox, right? Did you guys follow a TV show called Lost, right? Very underwhelming season finale, in my opinion, but I'm not going to ruin that for anybody if you haven't seen Lost. But I think that's Matthew Fox, right? Anyways, let's go on.
Right, so which means that in total, since he's doing around $4 in profit, he has already generated around 472.
Okay, so he sold it 118 times, right? And then earlier, see, here's the thing that you have to keep in mind when you're doing this kind of research, okay? Here's what I would teach you guys. Look, number one, because this is some form of drop shipping, okay, you don't have creative control over your item, you have no exclusivity over your item, and you're most likely going to be selling something with very, very similar keywords and titles and exactly the same stock images. So what does that mean? That means that when you come into the game, it's like hungry hippos, okay? You can only share in the existing market. Let's just say every single day there are X amount of people who are looking to buy hats, right? And if they come across your hat and they like your hat, they're gonna pick up your hat. But if there are other competitors that are very, very similar to you, selling nearly the same prices and nearly, the exact same thumbnails and stuff like that, then it's going to be kind of sort of first come, first serve, and you're just going to take from each other. So the only thing that this listing has over you, if you sell it at exactly the same price and everything, is that unless you add some sponsorship to it, this thing already has sales history. So it's going to be slightly above yours, right? Okay. So another thing to point out is that this guy did 118 sales, but we also have to take into account over the span of what time, right? Because $400 is a lot of money. $400 over a million years is no money whatsoever, right? I exaggerate, but you get my point. First, I want to point out that, look, you need to have a couple of different sizes over here and a couple of different colors. So your listing also has to support this many SKUs in order to catch this much business. Otherwise, you don't have the right size, you don't have the right color, you might lose the sale. Now, let's scroll down over here and what I want to show you guys, right? When you are researching other competitors, other items, things that you're interested in, you want to see if there's a gap in the market. I want to predict the trend. I want to, know more about stuff, right? Deep diving the seller is always a great idea. However, how do you deep dive the seller? So what you should do is always look for this link right here, which is view all revisions. I highly recommend this. You click on this, and as long as this is not a brand new listing where he's never revised it before, it's going to have a view all revisions record, okay? And when you click on this, this shows what? It shows that this started from July 15th of 2023. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to jump over to, I'm going to backtrack the date. All right. I use the ChatGPT to put in the date so that it could quickly, do the math for me. So when you're talking about July 15th of 2023, you're talking about 20 months ago from now. Okay. So now go ahead and come back and then take the 20 months and then divide it by the 118. Go ahead, pick up a calculator, use your phone, do it at home right now. Right. And how many sales is that over the course of 20 months? So if you take the 118 over here, right, 118, and then you divide this by 20, that would equal 5.9 sales every single month, right? And then if we go over and then we take the 472, right, and then we divide this by 20 months, it would equate to $23.06 every single month. And that is only considering you have his sales history of 118, right? So when you come into the market and you share the sales history, you're probably going to just get a couple of sales taken from what's already happening in the market, right? So it's going to be a lot lower of a number. The less people who are saturating a particular item, the more sales it's going to be concentrated into one seller. So what you're doing is, sneaking a couple of sales away. So it's not going to be this 118 number. That's what you really have to keep in mind when trying to do this whole calculation. But let's move on with other products.
$2 alone. Don't go anywhere. Next product is this grill light. Okay, it's a super handy item for this time of the year. And why is that? Well, as the weather warms up, more people are firing up their grills for evening barbecues, and a good grill light
What's with the
makes
stock
cooking
videos?
easier and safer when the sun starts to set, and it looks really cool. All right, it's a must-have for outdoor cooking enthusiasts. So this is a great product right now. This is what I'm trying to say, all right? And I found this item right here on eBay selling for $31.99.
Okay, so $31.99 by Health and Fitness Source, and I believe I found it as well over here, right? And where is he? Here we go, the Health and Fitness Source. So here's the thing that I want to point out on this particular item, okay? Everything he says is well and good at the time of the video, but what I'm saying that he didn't show you guys is the rest of the competitors that's next to it as well. There's so many other people selling the exact same thing. Sure, some people are using nicer thumbnails, which is definitely a plus, but some people over here are just, selling the exact same thing, and a lot of shoppers just realize it, especially if you shop around. So when you see this item right next to your item for $9.99 at $8.70, you know what I mean? This is pretty hard to live with, right? So yeah, let's just hear what else he has to say. I'm gonna click on this particular listing, and then we'll pull up more information on it. Currently, I also want to point out that this item on the right, it says 251 sold. And this video was posted 2 weeks ago, so March 26th. So from March 26th till now, this item sold 251. And I'm looking over here, and this item has sold 251. So I don't know. I'm not too sure if it's sold at all. And plus, the price is a little different too.
Then I went ahead and I searched for the same product, and I was able to source it from Walmart. Look at this, my friends, directly from Walmart for only $21.65 with free shipping. All right, so this means that I would have a profit of around $4 for each sale that I make. And this seller has already made 251 sales in total, so that's around $1,000 in profit after eBay fees on this product alone.
Right. Okay. So this item is up since November 24th of 2024. So you're talking about like, roughly like 4 months ago, right? A little over 4 months ago. And since then, they've updated the quantity and stuff, and it seems all right. Like, I'm not going to hate on this one too much, right? Because when you think about 4 months divided by the $1,000, you got $250 every single month just for this item. I probably wouldn't stock a lot of it, right? Just a little bit on the side, so that like, your store should have just a little more variety. But I wouldn't say this item is a dud either. But to rate this thing as a top selling item that you must add to your store immediately for April, I think that's a little stretching, right? That's a little bit of an embellishment.
All right. So what are you thinking about these products so far? I think they're pretty good, and it's going to get even better. So
I think it's all right, and the first one wasn't that good.
Don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel. And look, if you want to base your product research on solid data, then you can subscribe to Zeek Analytics for only $1 for the first week. Only one.
His data is not wrong, right? It's just that, like, it's very incomplete. That's all. It's like he did this much data, but then he's not doing what I'm doing on the side and have just more things to consider, right? So, when we did our video about Full On Karen and how she did Amazon FBA, she did do $10,000 worth of sales, but then a whole bunch of returns came in. So the point is that, like, you did a lot of the correct moves, but then you left out some stuff, and that's what could end up happening to you. Let's jump over to the next one.
Grill. And as you have noticed, I love barbecues. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that this item right here is a perfect companion for outdoor cooking. As camping trips and backyard barbecues become more popular this season, this portable grill right here is just ideal for cooking over, an open fire.
Okay.
It's lightweight, it's easy to pack, I have to say it's a must-have for this season. So as you can see in this product right here, I found on eBay selling for $37.99 with already 67 sales, all right?
Okay, so he's got this one, the Die Rui 22_3. So I found him as well. He's selling it for $37.99. This thing is now $33.99. So there is a $4 drop on this. I don't blame him for this because he couldn't have known that at the time of him making his video. But there is a $4 drop now. So that is going to change whatever calculation that he comes up with. So 67 sold over here. I have 71 sold here 2 weeks later. So in the 2 weeks, it's sold 4 units. Let's click on this one real quick and then scroll down here to see exactly what the revisions are, so that this item started in July 2024, right? So you were talking about 8 months ago. So let me hear his calculation over here.
Keep in mind that the time that I'm recording this video, the product has not yet reached its peak. So be sure that this product is gonna explode in sales. Anyway, again, with the help of Zeek Analytics, I was able to source this exact product from Walmart for $25.99. Now, for each sale, if I listed this item in my store, I would be making around $6, all right? And that's
yeah, but it's like $4 lower now. And then with the difference of the, whatever the price is from Walmart that you're not supposed to be drop shipping from, it would be down to $2. But again, I don't blame Rogero for this. He couldn't have known that.
Great profit, guys. It's a great profit. So we just multiply the profit for the amount of times it was sold, and we end up with a total of 402.
Right. So at the time of this video, it's about like 71. So 71 divided by 8 months, basically, 8,972. So you're talking about like, close to 9 sales every single month for this item, right? So it only sells 9 times in a month. So how many times does it sell in a day? Like barely even 1 a day. So I probably wouldn't pick this up if I was to actually, store this in my warehouse, right? If I had some of it, I sold it, I finally got rid of it, I phased it out, I probably wouldn't get more. $402, again, go ahead and divide that by 8, and you're talking about like, $50 a month. So I wouldn't do this item. As far as drop shipping this item, I suppose so, because you're not really handling any risk or whatever. But again, like as we said before, right? The 67, this is from the original listing. If you join the party, this number can only be less.
Dollars. And as you can see, it's the exact same product, but our competitor on eBay is selling it with a known branding. So it's very known. Look at this. And I was able to find this product with no branding at all. Okay, so look at this. There's no brand right here.
This is weird. This is weird for me. What are you trying to say? That, like, you know, okay, first of all, I'm not that familiar with the Vivor brand, right? I've only been seeing it recently, like on TikTok and stuff. But the thing is that if you're going to go ahead and mark your item a little bit more expensive because it's the branded item, and then look, I found it non-branded for $25.99, and then I drop ship it over, if people care about that brand, like the people are going to be upset, right? That kind of doesn't make any sense. Look, for me personally, I could care less about this Vivor thing. I know it's just a metal grill, and then ultimately Vivor could have just been, you know, a white label thing, and this is the exact same thing. So I'm not going to personally make too much of a fuss about it. But if I bought a Sony camera and it doesn't say Sony on it, I'm gonna flip, right? Guys, if you bought something that's supposed to be LG or Samsung, and then when it shows up, it doesn't have the logo on it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna start throwing hands, right? So I'm not too sure exactly what this part of the video is about.
So these are actually opportunities that many sellers don't take advantage of.
No, those are bad opportunities. Definitely do not sell people branded items and then let them receive something that's non-branded.
But since you're here already watching this video, you already know what to do. Next up, we got these DAC LED lights, all right? This one is no brainer.
Did he just say LED lights?
Like, it's a no-brainer for spring, you know, as people start, you know, spending more time outside on their decks and outdoor areas and everything. So adding this ambient lighting right here is really cool. It's, you know, it's just a popular upgrade to your backyard, all right? And the cool thing is that these lights here are easy to install, you know, they're energy efficient, and already looks cool once you just place it, all right? It's just perfect for homeowners. And this product that I'm showing you.
Okay. So basically what I do is that I know if I type in the heading, the title, word for word as is, I'm pretty much going to be able to find this item, right? So I put in the same thing, right? Outdoor solar 2 deck, blah, 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 like all that stuff. But here's the thing, like as I scroll down, it happens to be like a lot of competitors doing the exact same one. So the one that he's got over here is the white 2-piece one for $14.98, right? And it's by Red Staris. So I think it is this one. So I'm going to click on this, and then let's select white, and then let's select 2-piece. There you go, $14.98, right? So from the time of his video, 529 sold. And then from the time of this video, which is exactly 2 weeks later, it is 532 sold, right? So for a whopping total of 3 sold in the past 2 weeks, right? Now, again, I got to point this out. This listing is a multi-choice listing, right? So there's all sorts of different colors over here, and there's all sorts of, you know, different pieces and stuff like that. So what is selling is a collective of all this stuff, right? Just like earlier with the hats, there's different colors, there's different sizes and stuff like that. It is a collective amount of what's sold. This is why I'm not very big on just like studying up on STR only, okay? I think STR is good enough to get our attention on something, but it is not very complete strategy. That was what I'm trying to say. So let me let him talk a little bit, and I'm just going to go ahead and calculate, you know, how long ago this listing was.
Right now on eBay is selling for $14.98 with a total sales of 529 sales, okay? And I was able to source basically the same item on Amazon. Guess for how much? Look at this, and open for you right here for only $8.99. So that leaves me with a total profit of around $3.50 and a total sales profit of around $1,851.
Yeah, but this thing started in July 29th of 2022, guys. You know how many months ago this is? This comes out to 32 months ago, all right? Guys, whip out your calculators right now, right? What does it say? 529 sales divided by 32 months. Okay. This thing sells about 16 and a half units every single month. Now, again, 1851 over here is how much money that you would have made if you could sell as much as the original seller has sold over, you know, the whole 32 months, right? Is it 32? Yeah, it's 32 months. Sorry. I divided by 30 before. Okay, so 1851 divided by 32 months, right? You get a whopping total of $57.84 every single month for this item. Again, I don't think this is deserving of sitting in your warehouse slowly selling. Okay, this is, in my opinion, if you actually source this item to sell legitly, I'd probably let this one phase out as well. That's just my opinion on stuff. You guys let me know in the comments if, you know, so far, if there's any items that you actually thought was pretty good that you agreed with, because so far doing the homework, the math, the time span of the amount of sales and the money made makes a lot of his picks a little more lackluster, in my opinion.
$1, my friends, that's almost $2,000.
Let me know if you feel the same way.
All right, let me show you the next product right here, and this is the bike cup holder. Now, you may think, why is this a good product? Well, because this is a super practical accessory for cyclists, and with the warmer weather, encouraging more people to go out on their bikes and get healthier again. This is the perfect item to hold their water.
What is with all the, like, you know, video stock? You know what I mean? It's almost as if like he's trying to sell us this item more than just recommend this item. I think from now on, right, if I ever recommend items to you guys as an ongoing joke for the show, I'm just gonna add, like, you know, video stock images.
Bottles, energy drinks, or whatever, and it's easy to attach, it's super convenient, and a great product for both casual riders and daily riders. Okay, now I want you guys to pay attention to this item right here that I'm showing. Look at this. Okay, so this item,
okay, so I just want to show you, I found the exact same one. It's by Jekyll USA. 2X bicycle water bottle holder, iron mount handlebar rack bike cycling drink cup, right? I'm not too sure if I really recommend, you know, titles like this, but sure, it's got a lot of keywords, you know, you do your thing. But anyways, let's see what he's got over here. He's got 73 sold, and it's at $14.97, right? So the one that I found is at $18.97, so they raised the price on this thing recently, and then it is still at 73 sold, so no change in that. And I'm going to let him talk a little bit, and then I'm going to calculate the time on this one.
Right here on eBay is selling for $14.97, okay? And it was already sold 73 times in total. And again, with help of Zeek Analytics, I was able to find this product on Amazon that, you know, it's the exact same thing as 2-pack right here, right? It only costs.
So I just really wanted to point out real quick, right? So he changed the buy it now price on March 26th of 2025. And when you hover over the description of any video, it tells you the exact same date. So this thing, March 26th of 2025. So on the same day, the original seller has hiked up this item another $4. But for the next 2 weeks, this item hasn't sold a single unit. I think that's most important. Now, as for the timing of this thing, this started in November 15th of 2022, right? So November 15th, 2020, you're talking about 28 months ago. Okay, so whatever calculation that he's about to put in front of us, we're going to divide that by 28. Okay, so get your calculators ready.
$6.95. So this leaves us with a profit per sale around $5.50. And in total, that accounts to around of $400 in profit. Not bad.
Okay, so he just said not bad. Okay. So basically that item was what, 73. Okay, so 73 divided by 28 months, right? You're talking about 2.6 units every 30 days. That's how often it sells. And then it came out to how much money? $401. So 4001.5 divided by 28 equals a whopping $14.34 per month. So, yeah, tell us how you feel about it.
$100 in profit. Not bad.
Not bad.
All right. Let's go. Next product in the list is the summer slides. And
Okay,
again,
summer slides.
I think this is like a must-have for warmer months ahead of us. All right. As people gear up for beach trips, pool days, you know how it is.
stock videos.
It's just really cool. They are lightweight,
Not even the same
slip
slides,
on,
but you know,
and just perfect for everyday
we
wear.
want to get
making
that
them a
emotional,
hot-selling item this
inducing
season.
feelings.
Really, write this down. This is gonna go crazy. So I found this item right here on eBay, selling for only $28.99.
Okay, $28.99, right? So I think I found it over here. Let me click on this one, right? So this says $22.79, but his was black. So let me toggle this to black, right? And then I suppose you have to pick a size or something, right? So his says something to 10. So it's somewhere around here. So let me click that. Right. So this thing becomes $27.54. So there is a price adjustment over here. Okay. Again, details, people, details, right? So keep in mind that this thing comes in 3 colors, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sizes, right? So you're talking about a total of 15 SKUs to have a chance of selling 47 sold, right? So I'm going to go down over here and then, you know, let's find the time span. Again, very, very important, right? So this thing started in September 18th of 2023, right? So 18 months ago, right? Roughly about 18 months ago. And then when did he change the price on this thing, right? Yeah, buy it now, sale start price and stuff. Oh, it was in April 8th, 2025, right? That he changed the into a sale price. So he had this starting from, what was it again? March 26th, right? So from March 26th over here, he changed the buy it now, sale start, etc., sale end, and then he started up another sale. So he did change up some stuff over here. But yeah, essentially this thing, September 18th, again, you know, 2023. So we are talking about, sorry, I'm so lost. 18 months ago. So let's hear what he has to say.
In cents, which, you know, I think it's a reasonable price. But then again, with my friend Zeek, I was able to source this exact item from AliExpress for $13.56 with free shipping. So leaving me with a profit of around $11.50. So that means it's more than 50% profit margin, guys. More than 50%. Which is actually very common when it comes down to drop shipping from AliExpress to eBay. Now, remember, most of these products are not yet even close to reaching their full potential. All right, next up, we got sports.
Wait, did he just skipped over the calculation, or did I?
eBay. Now,
did I just
remember, most of these products
it?
are not yet more than 50% profit margin, guys.
What happened to
more
the calculation?
Which is actually very common when it comes down to drop shipping from AliExpress to eBay. Now, remember, most of these products are not yet even close to reaching their full potential. All right, next up.
Yo, we just moved on to this. We just moved on. Wait, come back. Like, what happened over here, right? So I remember him saying something like, you know, this thing had like only like 47 sold or something like that. So 47 sold over the course of 18 months, right? So 47 divided by 18, that would equal 2.6 sales every 30 days. So, okay. Anyways, let's move on to the shorts.
Sports shorts.
I bet you he shows us some shorts.
It's a perfect addition for this time of the year, you know, because the weather is warming up and people just go out for a workout, jogging, you know how it goes, right? And these look really comfortable and they're lightweight, and it's just, there's high demand right now and demand is just going to increase. So I found this right here, this item on eBay, selling for $13.99. And I can really understand the high demand in these results right here. Look at this, 709 sales. All right.
Okay.
And then I use Zeek again one more time to find
use that
the exact same product on AliExpress. And guess what? Let me open. Boom, right here. Look at this, selling for $5.70 with $1.99 for shipping. leaving me with a total profit per sale around $5 per sale. Now, here comes the best part. This product has already sold 709 times for this.
Okay, so I'm gonna click on this one. I think this is the same one because MyOFR Best 2020 is the same one, right? And then let's see over here. See, look at all these SKUs you need to maintain, right? Gray, khaki, white, army green, black, gray. Like you have to do all these colors. And then for the size over here, see, there's 5 different sizes, right? So you have to do like, I'll just click gray, our most popular, and then I'll just put an XL or something like that. So 710 sold. So from the 2 weeks that he did this video, it sold 709 times. And then 2 weeks later, it sold 710 times. So one time in 2 weeks, right? So if you jump in and try to share the market of this, like how bad are these sales? This is why dropshipping is so like, I don't know how to say it, like overly hyped for what it actually is. Maybe some people have really made money like in the early times of dropshipping, but now as it gets more and more saturated, more videos like these come out where it's more about just for the sake of making a video and just getting views than anything else. Because again, if I jump over here and then we take a look at the revisions, look at his initial revision of like changing up the quantity for like all of these SKUs, right? Look how many SKUs there are in order to make this one listing, right? So if we look at the time that he started this thing, it was May 22nd of 2024, right? So you're talking about like exactly 11 months ago. So close to a year.
709 times for this seller on eBay. All right. So if I was to list this item and have the same results, I would have a total profit of around $3,545.
Okay, so if you took 709 and then divided it by the 11 months, right, it would actually be about 64 sales per month. So you're talking about a little bit over 2 sales every day. I think it's still not good enough normally, but you know, at least this item, right? If you were to miss on it, you would still be able to phase this out on your first shipment and basically recoup your money back in a decent time. That's my actual opinion of it. So as far as, you know, 35, 45 divided by 11 months, you're talking about $322 per month. So if you are legit able to drop ship this thing, then sure, this might be a decent pickup. But if you are actually, you know, doing this item and this is how much money you're making per month and stuff, I don't think this is worthy of warehouse space.
$5, my friends. Boom.
Boom.
Right. It's really good profit right here with a great profit margin. I hope you make something useful out of this information. All right. Anyway, we're almost reaching the end of this video, guys. And
I don't know if it's a great profit margin. I think it's just, I think it's meh. I think it's just all right. But let's move on. Drones. Here we go.
Right here, right? And this is just a fantastic product that's gaining serious popularity. And now with spring coming up, clear skies, and more outdoor
let me skip over because I'm so sure he's going to show us like more drone footage, right? Yeah, I knew it.
And exploring new places and
okay, just show us the item.
Anyway, I'm just trying to say is that this product attracts a wide range of buyers, so it's definitely a winner, definitely. And as you can see, I was able to find this product selling on eBay right here for $29.41. Seems to me.
Okay, so $29.41, and it's this drones quadcopter 5G 4K GPS drone pro, blah 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 blah. Right. So I have the same thing over here, and it's by Everyday Gadgets. Right. So this has got to be the same listing. So he said it in color black with the dual camera. Right. So see, I'm very careful with matching up exactly, you know, what he's showing us here. Right. So I think he's going to move his video out of the way. So it says 1751 sold over here.
Me a very reasonable price.
1750 sold. So we've sold 1 unit after 2 weeks, right? And so, you know, whatever you see, whatever you calculate, it's clearly slowing down. So if I had to scroll down here and then let's review all the revisions, this thing started in November 18th of 2022, right? So you're talking about 28 months ago. So let's hear the calculation.
With a total of sales, look at this, 1,750 sales, my friends. Then I went ahead and I used Zeek Analytics to source this product, and I was able to find the exact same product selling on Walmart for.
Here's the thing, right? if you were to calculate this thing right now, and he said sold how many times? Sorry, let's just hear his grand total.
Only $20.89. So for each sale, I can be counting on a profit of $3. Yes, I know what you're thinking. $3? Are you crazy, Rogerio? Well, if I multiply this profit for 1,750 sales, I end up with a total profit of around 5,200.
Okay, right. But the thing is, keep in mind, this is 28 months ago. So we're talking about 5250 divided by 28 months. So you're talking about $187.50, which is even less than those shorts that he was showing, right? So 1,750, right? 1,750, and then you divide this by the 28 months, okay? It would average about 62 and a half sales every single month. But the problem is that if we look at how many just sold recently right now, he sold 1 unit in the past 2 weeks. So if you were to only sell 2 units every single month, and then you multiply that, right, by the 28 months, you would only have 56 sales and not 1,750 sales. You see what I'm saying? So you really got to understand how to crunch the numbers in this stuff, guys. Anyways, let's come back up top for some final thoughts. All right, guys, so today's key takeaway is always about doing your research. Every guru will agree that doing your research is very, very important. But the question is, how do you do the research? And that's why I wanted to do this video for you guys to take you on the ride along of how we calculate things from the back end. And a lot of stuff that these gurus put out that is actually incomplete information, that if you actually did this and I crunched numbers for you, you tell me if that was a good idea or not. You tell me if you really want to sell at that slow of an STR. So if you already knew that's what's coming, would you still do this item anyways? Right. So as always, guys, that is the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like. And if you learned something, please consider subscribing. As always, I'll see you guys in the next. Take care.